program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into The Breeze here on Ticket Weekends. It is not the last show of Ticket Weekends, but the last show for a little while here as we're going to go on break. But we'll still have Sunday Rewind later today, as well as some of the softball girls will step in, and Ricky C. Simmons all later tonight. But until now, we have The Breeze. We have host Haas and DP here with us. How's it going today, guys?
What's up, Single H?
The H.
the H. What's up, the H?
It's good, man. It's like 52 degrees outside right now. I'm loving today so far.
Oh, man. This weather is crazy. It's wow. DP, there's so much going on. And it's kind of with the Pro Bowl allowing us to not talk about football for a little bit. I know the Lakers are my team, but Kyrie has taken over the sports world for the last couple of days. Jeez.
I'm over him, man. I just can't. I can't take the Brooklyn Nets saga anymore. It's insane. It's insane between those guys. He's got to be like up there becoming like one of the most. I don't know if this is too harsh, but he's definitely getting up there for being just one of the most unlikable players for me personally. Just like, when I look at the NBA, right? It's a business. You're business partners. You are a business partner with the organization that has paid you to play there. And he's just a bad business partner. He's a horrible business partner. And like that's it for me. That's all I need to know about the guy. I don't like the way he handles his business.
And DP, I want to hear your thoughts just from multiple sports, but with the business that Harrison's talking about, or the H, big H, we got to change your name on the screen. With what H is talking about, just in football, you're kind of stuck. It's really hard to switch teams. Only one or two players can really do it. Baseball, the billions of dollars that were given out in the off season, it's every sport is different. And with the NBA, they've done a good job with parity. They've done a good job with making teams that were grown internally win championships with Milwaukee and Golden State, and we're starting to see like the Suns come together for the last couple of years. We're starting to see that you can't just make super teams, but this is how the NBA works. Harden wanted to leave, so he left Houston by doing what he did. Durant did what he did. Kyrie did what he did. So it's not necessarily, I don't think it's the player's fault. I think it's the system that has allowed this to happen. And maybe it started with LeBron in Miami. He was a free agent. I get it.
Well, I'm on the other side in that I'm okay with athletes using their power and leverage to better their situations, because for a very long time and in other sports, that's not the case. It's not the case. And here's the reality. The harsh reality is it's the owner's fault. Like, the owners have set this thing up so that, quite frankly, if they stopped hiring Kyrie would stop the nonsense. He would stop the nonsense. Like, nobody's making anybody trade for Kyrie or sign Kyrie or promote Kyrie. Nobody's making anybody do that. So for all the powers that be, because they feel like he has some financial value to them, they put up with the nonsense. Now, the moment they stop putting up with the nonsense, Kyrie will go, okay, I got to make a decision. When he found out that, I'm going to sit out because I have standards, or whatever way he wanted to phrase it, he recognized pretty quickly that his value dropped, the weight of his word dropped, and then his reputation dropped. And then they brought him back, or he came back, and he did exactly what Kyrie does. Like, none of this is a surprise. None of it. Now, you could go, look, they could go and say, you know what? Giannis is the way, and we're going to honor people who do business the way Giannis does, or the way Kobe did, or the way Jordan did, etc. And even in that space, guys like Barkley, Drexler, they bounced around. They bounced around. Like that was, Shaq bounced around. KG bounced around. But it's the owners who ultimately make the decision on what they're willing to accept and not accept. So, listen, you raised a petulant child. And what does that child do? They do exactly what you've set the boundary for them to do. Like, that's what it is. And look, I'm not mad at Kyrie for getting his money's worth and being able to determine where he said himself, listen, I owe LeBron an apology because the stuff that he tried to teach me when I was with him and under his wing, I didn't quite understand until now. Now, Kyrie's getting smarter in a sense that he understands his value.
Yeah, that's fair. He knows someone's going to want him. Someone's going to gamble.
But we also know that in this league, I don't know if Harrison is probably out of your reach, but Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, look, this league has a history. Craig Hodges, it has a history of putting people down who they felt like did not fit or conform or work in space. Like this, the special that was just released on Mahmoud is a must watch for basketball fans. And I don't care what level of basketball fan you are. This was a guy who was legitimately working from his faith strength, and they didn't understand it, and they still set him aside. Well, we're not talking about him being political in the sense that he was making outlandish statements or anything. This dude wanted to pray. Like, he wanted to pray, and they were like, no, man, like, we don't understand it, so we don't. Look, it's all about the owners have to get their stuff together. The owners have to get their stuff together. And look, it's a business, and winning is the best business. So ultimately, it'll come down to can this guy, whether we believe in him or not, can we trust him to help us win? Is there value in that? And until the league says there isn't, you're going to have Kyrie's. That's just how it's going to work.
And DP, I think we are on the same page, actually. I was trying to say the system has allowed this and created it, and it's just the only way to create the teams you want. If you really want to go play with your buddy, maybe LeBron texted him, said, look, man, I'm tired of this. I don't have any shooting near me. Just go demand a trade. And La GM, he realizes that he needs a couple more championships, and he did La tampering. And and now the Lakers are probably going to have Kyrie.
You think so? You're that set on.
Well, I mean, Harrison, it's think about it this way. If the difference between you trying to fill the same building or the same space as the Clippers, who are playing well, how much of that is you riding on the legacy that is rather than with the actual product? And if I can on Tuesday, I'm going to pay $200 to go see the Clippers. And then on Thursday, I'm going to go see the Lakers. and pay $200. I know where I'm getting bang for my buck. I know where I'm getting better entertainment. I know where I'm more likely to leave the building feeling good about what I just saw. So, look, if LeBron thinks or knows that they can win with Kyrie, he's on his final run. Like, he doesn't have too many more of these to burn. So, listen, if he can make one more run, and it's Kyrie that could do it, then I fully expect that Kyrie becomes a Laker. And I don't think there's anything else anybody else can do about it, because I'm not sure. Maybe the Clippers. Maybe the Clippers. I don't know that there's any other place that Kyrie can go, plug himself in, fit in, air quotes, and then be successful right away. And I'm just not sure there's anybody else that LeBron could go and get, fit them in, and have the Lakers be a legitimate playoff contender. Those are the two equations.
The Lakers, the only thing I'll give you on that, because I agree with some of what you're saying, is if there's a player in the league right now that can actually get the reins on Kyrie Irving and bring him home a little bit, it'd be LeBron James, right? That's one guy that you unanimously is pretty respected in the NBA. At the same time, if you're the Lakers, you kind of just botched it getting rid of Alex Caruso. You botched it taking in Russell Westbrook. You've had a series of really bad moves. Okay, so now you get Kyrie Irving.
Austin's going to start crying, Harrison. He's going to start crying. He's going to start crying.
Say you get Kyrie Irving.
Why do you have to bring up Caruso, man?
Well, because he's the bull now. He's mine. He's my player.
Why do you have to bring up Caruso?
But what I'm saying is, like, if it goes south, and say Kyrie once again is he's just have outside noise, whatever's going on, he's not showing up for games. Something happens to where the effort isn't there. He's getting upset. I mean, that is just another really tough move by the Lakers. They're going to have to recover from again. So if you think LeBron's the guy and you trust the ownership and you think Kyrie is a better man, he's becoming more aware of his surroundings, and you think he's going to fit in and plug in, absolutely. But this one would just be another series to add to the hauntings. And if I'm an owner, I'm just not taking Kyrie Irving anymore. Not for the value. Like, I don't understand it. It's not reliable.
Wise man, let me jump in real quick. So how much worse than 12th can they get when there's 3 teams below them tanking? So that's number one. How much worse can they get? So that's number one. Number two, the Lakers, with the bad team that they have, a really messed up Tetris puzzle that they have, has beaten good teams and been in really close games. The Celtics, the Sixers, bad call here, whatever. They've been in every game when they needed to be, and they're 4 games under 500, so they're really close to the 4 seed. If the Lakers, they added Hachimura, which was great. That's probably the first good move they've had. If they get Austin Reeves back and then they get a shooter, they have 2 of the 10 best players in the NBA. If AD is healthy, LeBron is playing like an old.
If let's call them the Los Angeles ifs. The ifs. They're the ifs. If. Let me say something to Harrison. Okay, so Harrison does the thing where Lakers fans love to mention Alex Caruso. Stop it. Stop it.
He won us a ring. He won us a ring.
Stop it. Stop it. If he's so much, what's he doing for the Bulls? Oh, that's right. They're under 500 with him carrying 25 minutes a game, giving them 5 points, 3 assists, and 1 floor burn. Big deal. Stop it. The dude has nothing to do with what's wrong with the Lakers. The Lakers' problems are this. You sold your soul to the top of this thing, riding with the layup. LeBron is the layup. Then you went out and you got another layup in AD. You got your run. Like, you got the thing that you put them together for. But then you forgot that everybody else evolves around you. Right? All the teams in the West got better around you. Like, you had to figure out, and you still hadn't figured out how to beat the Warriors. Like, look, Caruso wasn't going to help you beat anybody. The Lakers' problem is this. One, they're not healthy. So I would ask whoever the lead trainer is to resign. Resign. Look, it's the same thing. We've talked about it here in Nebraska. Sometimes the strength and conditioning coach affects the wins and losses at a far greater level than the head coach. Like this is like legitimately a thing. If your job is to keep the Lakers healthy and you fail at a monumental level and nobody calls you on it, again, ownership, what are you doing? What are you doing? The NBA is it is a health league. The healthiest teams in the NBA have the greatest success. It's always been that way. And it's not even healthy during the season. It's healthy in the playoffs. It is a 24-game run of being healthy at your healthiest while being in the tournament. Like that's literally, ask Golden State. They took days off. Why? For their health. And it wasn't lazy and game management and all that stuff. No, the NBA is a health league. And if your team isn't healthy, and if they're not taking care of their bodies and they don't do the right thing, the other stuff manifests in a big way. The Lakers have problems. Caruso is not the problem.
No,
So
I'm not saying real quick. Let me respond to the Caruso bit. No, Caruso's not going to win you a ring, but you can't deny he's a valuable player. I mean, he worked.
Sure,
well.
I can. Sure,
Yeah.
I can. Where would you? What is he? Top third of the NBA?
Top third? No, defense. If we're going to, overall, he's not.
Every team has a Caruso. Every team in the NBA has a Caruso.
That's a key role player that they like. Like they
Blah blah blah. Nobody's bought a ticket because Caruso was in the room. Other if their last name wasn't Caruso.
hold up. He was a cult figure for the Lakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was a big deal.
because we look. We were there in DC when Babe Loffenberg was a cult hero. He started one game for the Redskins. Like I understand, it's always the guy that a team picks up. Harrison, think of Nebraska, where people they just needed to see Purdy. They loved it. He was iconic, and they were talking about him. And he got in the game, and they went, that's a lot of energy for, not bad, but not really what it is. The Lakers, the NBA is filled. Matter of fact, the G League is filled with Alex Carusos. Filled with. If you don't know that are better than he is at what he does.
Here, I see both your points.
He's top 5 in steal. I mean, he's up there on defense in terms of steals. He does plus minus. Everything loves him. You take him off the court, that plus minus dies. Whether he's giving you 5 points or 20. I mean, No, I'm going to get off Alex Caruso because he's not the reason.
Hold on.
Right?
My friends would have the same argument with me all the time. And I would say, number one, his plus minus was always so high. But number two, it's the team that was around them. They had a bunch of ball hogs. And so the reason why he fit so well with the Lakers is he was always, if I get the ball, I'm going to give the ball to LeBron. If Kuzma got the ball, Kuzma shot it. If KCP got the ball, KCP shot it.
So can I ask you, does that team win without Caruso? Do they win the chip without Caruso?
No. 100% no. Yes.
What?
I'm
What?
serious. I am
What?
serious. Yes.
What?
Go back
In 2020, he was a difference maker.
Bruh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You can tell. Look.
He was the
I
Lakers'
understand
third best player.
I understand the need for heroes and whatnot, but that ain't it. That is not a hill you should probably want to die on. Because listen, give me the two moments in that season, the two plays that he made in the championship series. Give me two moments, because I can give for 6 guys on the roster, I can give you 2 moments that wow moments where you played up to the level of the second best team in the NBA. And played at the level of the two best players in the NBA in that final. Go ahead, I'll wait.
So again, we can go.
Don't hem and haw. Go ahead and give it to me. Look, I understand that the Lakers have made some horrible decisions. I know for a fact that, given your druthers, you want Carruthers on that team. I get wanting to have him on the roster. I get wanting to give him credit. But I also get that this league is built at the top with some Goliaths and monsters. And that's what this league is about. As a matter of fact, if you could tell me, look, I would still take Westbrook over Caruso all day, every day, because Caruso could never do the things that Westbrook could do on his worst day, So it's easy to finger point, but the reality is, in a league of stars and power, I get it. The Lakers have a whole lot of problems. If they want to go get Kyrie, the things that you get from Kyrie far outweigh what anybody else can bring to the table. Anybody that's been there. I mean, you could have that discussion about Brandon Ingram. You could have that discussion about any group of Kuzma, as a matter of fact. Guys, because the Lakers could use Kuzma right now. To have guys who were on the Lakers who weren't stars. And everybody else, the moment some dude who is the 9th most important dude gets more hype than the 3 most important dudes, that 9th dude is always going to get kicked out. He's always going to get moved on. Always, always, always. It is the history of the NBA. Go to any team that you want to pick. And if that dude moves up in fan support, but the players know that from a day by day, this dude can't hold my water, that dude got to go because he's not worth the trouble.
So, in your defense, DP, Austin Reeves is doing what Caruso does. I understand that. Austin Reeves goes and makes threes. He plays defense. He guards usually a great player, and he gives the ball to LeBron on time. So, I understand where you're talking about a undrafted player, a G League player can go in and do what Caruso did. It's just Caruso was always there in the fourth quarter. He's always there at the end of the game. He was always the 3rd most important player on the court, not offensively.
No, he was your 3rd favorite guy on the court. There's a difference between him being the 3rd best player on the court and your favorite player on the court.
First favorite. Most Laker fans, most Laker fans like Caruso more than LeBron.
Really? Then Laker fans, you deserve everything if that statement is true, you deserve every loss you take. Just take it. You deserve on that roster. If that's what your thinking is, you deserve to be sub 500. I hope that you have to play in the play-in game. Literally, I hope Laker fans have to watch a play-in game in which they lose because they have that thinking.
Most Laker fans are used to that guy and Kobe and loyalty and not flopping and not crying. So therefore, they're not huge LeBron fans. There's a lot of LeBron fans. There's a lot of them.
It's the everyman thing for the average lay fan who couldn't get up and down the floor 4 trips.
Lost him for a little bit there. He might come back. And he's 2nd now.
He's just saying that Kobe's better than LeBron. It's okay.
I'll agree.
DP, that's such a good point. Yes, Kobe is so much better than LeBron. Oh my gosh, that's the best thing you said all day.
Yeah, I do. I'm not looking at Alex Caruso like people are looking at Jeremy Lin though. Back in the day, you know what I mean? Like I didn't see him. This guy's never going to be like a superstar that's going to lead a team to ring after ring. I just think it was a good role player. He came to the Lakers. He was willing to take less. Okay, DP will be back on the next segment. We're actually getting close to the top of this one. But I just think about the Lakers. Alex Caruso was a really good role player. He goes to the Bulls, and the Bulls give him a contract, and he goes to the Lakers. Will you match? They say no. I will go under what they offered. Will you take that? They said no again. And to me, it's like, yeah, he's not going to win you rings. But if you're giving away something and not getting anything in return, hardly, I just don't. It's a bad move. I don't think moving on from Caruso was smart in any shape or form.
They bet on the wrong horse. So they thought the 21-year-old THT was the guy, and a year later they realized he's not. And they realized that just because he's 6'4" with a 7'4" wingspan, he can't shoot. He doesn't play defense, and he doesn't pass the ball. And so how is that good next to LeBron? And that's who you picked? That's what you decided? So that's the flashy thing. He has all the talent. This guy should be a cornerstone. Oh, we're not going to trade him for Kyle Lowry. We're not going to trade him for a couple firsts. And then they just dump him for a guy who kind of plays defense and does nothing else. So seriously,
I'm there with you on that. But that being said, we have DP back, but we got to go to break here anyways. Oddly enough, this has been the Alex Caruso segment, not where I thought it was going. But we'll go to break here on The Breeze, and we'll have more coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmeline and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm all for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to The Breeze on Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arn joining the board. We have host Haas and DP here with us as well. We spent pretty much the entire last segment arguing over the value of Russell Westbrook, who is number 5 in steals right now at 1.7 per game. But, just any guy can do that. Anyway, Haas, where do you want to go? I mean, Tom Brady's retired. There's wrestling I'm sure you got on the back of your mind. We can go anywhere with it.
So, look, people are just lazy. They're just going through the motion, just not doing anything original, not doing anything fun. And I'm talking about WWE right now. Wow, what a terrible week of wrestling. It was so bad. Monday Night Raw was bad. Royal Rumble we talked about, it was bad. SmackDown was bad. I watched wrestling this past week from 2016. And oh my gosh, the stories were so much better back then. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people are just like, well, everyone loves us. We're the best. So they're going to watch us. It's like, well, you need to put in a little bit more effort. I don't know if it's because they lost half the roster at the mid-level to AEW. That can't be it. Like, what is going on? I don't know how. After a Royal Rumble, I watched a couple Raws after Royal Rumble, and that's supposed to be the second best show of the year for Raw. Raw after WrestleMania is always the best, but Raw after Royal Rumble is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to give us all the stories for WrestleMania, and there's nothing. Like, what is going on?
Trash. I thought that it would be a really good opportunity, as you said, the day after pay-per-view. That's all of the pay-per-view. That's literally the whole point of pay-per-viewing is a payoff, and then that Monday for you to get the retelling of the story and then the redirecting of business going forward. And we're back at the pre-Monday night wars, where the talent has been spread out. New talent isn't moving up as well, but also there's a dilution of storytelling, right? Mm-hmm. That there's a confusion because in other brackets, acrobatics is the thing, right? And it's not really about storytelling. It's how many times can you flip yourself before you land flat on your stomach. The other business is how many times can I hit you with a chair? The other business is on the women's side, and I don't understand how a business that said 10 years ago that there wasn't enough women's talent, now saying there's too much women's talent and we don't know how to book it. Like we really don't know how to book it. We don't know how to combine the talent. Look, if I was the WWE, and this is the creative in me, is that I would go and create a us versus the world story. If you want things to get interesting, do your March Madness and let's cross over. Let's take some of these other champions. Let's take some of these other hotshots. Let's go get some of the young ladies from AEW and from Impact, right? And put them in a bid to see whether they want to be in the WWE or not. Like, it's like the UFC for me. Bellator and all the upshoots are only shooting to get to the UFC. Like, that's the major leagues. Nobody's efforting in baseball to be in the minors. Nobody's not trying to be with the Yankees or the Dodgers. That's not how it works. The G League folks would trade their souls to be wearing the Laker colors or wearing the Knicks colors. So if I was the NBA, if I was Major League Baseball, I would set up these camps that say, here's your opportunity. Like if you asked, and Hoss, color me if I'm wrong, but if you asked the folks from AEW and Impact, et cetera, that they had a chance to be in the WWE or where they are, what do you think the answer would be?
All but two would say yes.
Right? All but two, and the two have personal issues. Those aren't business issues. Those are personal issues, right? And then if everybody else around those two people would leave, You think those two people would stay where they are, working high school gyms? No. They would get the hell out. To me, the best parts of for the last 5 years, there was a faction change, right? Of young upstarts. That's how Seth becomes Seth. That's how Batista and Orton become Batista and Orton. There's always a faction. They could even, if they wanted, was to go old school versus new and bring back the veterans to say, you know what, listen, we're not done. We've got a final run in us. It would move the needle of business and storytelling for 6 months. For 6 months.
And there's no minor leagues. There's no, I mean, NXT is supposed to be so big, but there's no one there that when they come on to Raw, I'm like, oh, I want to watch this person. There's none of that.
Well, because the block, there's a clotting of the other. It's not territories anymore. My wrestling speak is territories. But if the AEW people made themselves available again to the WWE, it changes it. So if you're New Day, you'd much rather be at NXT than AEW. Right? Like if you're Natalia, you'd rather be in NXT and be the champion rather than go to Impact. So there's value. If I'm WWE, I want that statement known to the other folks. Like, you're not us. You're not us. And what happens if WWE pulled a NWA and sent its talent to those other events? Right? You imagine if the Bloodline showed up at AEW? Can you imagine the Bloodline showing up at Impact? Right? And just walking in the building.
They would literally not know how to do a promo. They'd be like,
Right. Like, there's nothing. Like, here's the space. Those guys, look, the best promo folks are in WWE. And the problem is they're not doing promos.
No.
When was they're doing the full promo at the start of shows, but there's one or two per 2 or 3 hours, and you're missing the storytellers. And it's the same people. It's the same people doing the promos.
Carolyn was saying, man, this entrance takes like 10 minutes. It's like, yeah, this is the only entrance people want to see. There's one dude with one promo, with one manager who could talk. The rest don't do it.
Well, you don't allow, like, we don't know Braun Strowman, if he was talking in his normal voice, we would know what it sounds like.
No.
Like, Solo, we don't know what he sounds like. We don't know, we know Sheamus because of the accent. McIntyre doesn't talk enough. The New Day built themselves on talking more. Now they talk less. The tag team division, you literally gave your second highest position to Imperium, who nobody wants to hear talk ever about anything. Anything. Like, I don't even know what their angle is. Like, I don't understand. So this is where the return of Vince hurts you. And as sneaky as I would say it, this may be Triple H just letting it turn into crap to get Vince out of the way.
So
this is Triple H going, yeah, what do you want to do, Vince? Yeah, okay, cool. Good idea. Good idea.
Real quick,
guys, he knows it's a terrible idea.
Real quick, I want to get to the text line. It just refreshed for us finally. So if you guys have been texting in, again, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. They got backlogged a little bit here. But John from Cortland says, complacent bunch talking about wrestling. He said, been enjoying the coverage of wrestling. Thank you very much. Killer talent. And then he also says, back to work. Shout out Charles and Mary Ellen's dinner was killer last evening.
So we have no doubt. Yeah, they hooked us up. Harrison, you missed it. Thursday down at the new location. Mary Ellen's hooked us up and fed us. They even delivered pork chops and fried chicken. mac and cheese and corn on the cob and lima. Like they hooked it up, so it's there. John in Cortland knows we'll get to Big Ten wrestling this week. He'll know. He knows during the weekday shows we'll get to wrestling. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting an appearance from Mark Manning. So there's that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
With where we were with Vince, the pay-per-view that I was watching was Fastlane in 2016. It's the pay-per-view before WrestleMania and after Royal Rumble in 2016. And Shane McMahon came out on the Raw after that, and he got the biggest pop. And so I haven't seen anyone come back with a big pop. Like why don't we have anyone come back? Why don't we do something like that? Edge came back. That was cool. But
it was in the Rumble. It was in the Rumble, and you didn't use him. Like there was no story. Like who was he coming to get, and was he allowed to get him? Like there's no payoff. It's pop and no payoff. And there's a difference between bringing somebody back and then somebody saying, you know what, your return, like Nia Jax. There's no story.
That stuck out to me. Like now what? You should have totally pushed that.
Oh, like I mean, wouldn't that be great to put? I mean, to say, you know what, I'm coming back to get Rhea, right? Like I'm coming back. Like she's supposed to be the new big thing. I'm going to show you that she's not it. Okay. That's 3 months of having them just literally get after it. And then that's the pitch for the bloodline versus the crew. Like it was there. It was a layup. It was a layup. I don't understand. I don't
14-on-1 in the Rumble. Good.
Adam from the text line says Cody Rhodes' return was massive.
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't a surprise.
Yes.
I want some shock.
Well, but I also wanted him to perform in that space against something rather than everybody. I don't need Cody Rhodes versus everybody. I need Cody Rhodes. The story is I'm chasing the American dream and nothing else matters. And so I need to pick my way through it, not that it's going to be handed to me. Like you telling me I'm going to hand him the strap is different than you telling me you're going to make him go earn the strap. I didn't get the earn the strap vibe.
Not only that, but you don't like Gunther. I said Gunther was going to get a push based on where he was. I don't like Gunther at all either. Like he's very, very, very vanilla. So
like I don't understand. I don't understand the decisions. Like, I don't understand. As a matter of fact, it appears to me that the performers don't understand. Like, they don't understand. Like, wait a minute, why is this guy getting the push? Why is this young lady getting the push? I don't think the people who are making decisions, and this strikes me as this is not Triple H and Shawn. This is something else. And we'll find out what that is. We miss Stephanie. We miss Shane. I hate to say it. And the only way for this, again, the biggest swing and miss is this. If you're going to bring back the chairman of the board, what he does better than anybody is get in the ring and stir up, and you haven't used it. Like, why would, like, we don't get the walk, right? Like, we don't get the walk. We don't get Vinny. Yeah, we don't get Vinny. Like, where is that? And then another swing and miss is, where is the McMahon versus McMahon turn? Because that's ultimately what this is about. And if you made it Shane versus Vince, oh my goodness, business as JR said, business is about to pick up. Make it Vince versus Linda. Right?
Vince
Linda
versus Triple H, just make it real. Just put
make
it,
it like Linda said. Linda comes in and says, I want the women to get more exposure. And then Stephanie comes in and goes, yeah, I want the women to get more exposure, but they got to go through me. Or, you know what? It's my crew of women, and it's the new faction of women that she's been building up over at NXT who don't get the proper run, right? Like, there's just tons of stories that are just sitting there, and they refuse. They refused.
And that's my point with Shane. It's okay. Well, he upset people last year, and they kicked him out of WWE. So whatever he did was worse than what Vince McMahon did, and so he can't be forgiven and he can't come back? Seriously? Like, there's so much you could do with Shane, especially at WrestleMania time. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, the fact that you tell me that whatever Shane did is worse than Vince, like that has to be the possibilities. That's the shortest list ever.
That's a good spot to go to break right there. We are up against the clock. We got one more segment for the Breeze. Up next, going all the way up until 1 o'clock. We'll be back right after this break.
Public schools are the cornerstones of our communities, and it's communities that ensure students have great public schools. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Learning happens at home, in school, and everywhere in between. We all have a role to play in supporting student learning in the classroom and beyond. Help us make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am Hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the last segment of The Breeze here on Ticket Weekends on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We kind of left there talking about some wrestling, about the narratives, once again, just not seeming to get exciting enough or just questionable. And again, last time to get your questions in or comments, if you want to join the conversation, Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can join the conversation that way. So Haas, I'll throw it back to you. We got about 5 minutes here, so we can kind of be short and wrap up where you want.
So I'll just say a couple quick things and then hand it to you guys. So the Big Ten basketball, pretty cool. Watching Indiana win yesterday, that was nice. It was a fun game to watch. Football season's over for me, so I don't. There's a Pro Bowl something going on today, like flag football or dance, a party. Like I don't know what's going on. So you guys could talk about that if you want. And then there's a game I think next week. Rihanna's the game, and then there's something going on before and after it. But one thing I would like to say, as a fan, people relax. Don't bash your team. Don't bash your coach. Don't make excuses for refs. Don't say this should have happened. Just enjoy the season and move on. Like, people need to relax. Like, there's just so much, I don't know how much hate there was for Kyle Shanahan. And, like, what does Kyle Shanahan have to do with an arm being hit at the wrong angle? Like, just get over it. It stinks. It's a game. There's much more important things in life than to just go and just say anything because you're somebody with a mouse and a keyboard and a phone. Just relax.
Yeah, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. That's for certain. I don't know. I will say with Kyle Shanahan, I didn't see as much blowback. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't catching it. You saw a lot of blowback though from Kyle Shanahan.
It's just because they had a backup tight end blocking a probably the second best defensive end in football, and so therefore Purdy's arm got hurt. Okay, it happens.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
Could happen to McGlinchey.
Exactly. And with the Purdy thing too, it's like, I mean, and what do you do if you're the 49ers? I mean, like, he had a torn tendon in his elbow, and the 49ers were getting so desperate. They're like, do we have anyone? They had him throw a ball with a torn tendon. I mean, like, it's where you're at. You don't have anyone. I mean, we got to visit Josh's career and see all the 14 teams he's been on, as well as the minor pro leagues that he's like. But I don't know what you're going to do if you're a 49ers fan. Even have a complaint about a game that seems impossible to coach to begin with. The only thing I will say is they did beat the Packers, only throwing the ball 8 times in that NFC Championship not too long ago. But other than that, like, that's a very hard game to win against an elite Eagles team.
Here, I'll say this one last thing, and then DP, definitely want to hear what you got. I now know what the Jets felt like this season.
Yeah. First of all, the fact that you went Aaron Rodgers bothers me. Like, you went Aaron Rodgers relax. You didn't go Frankie Goes to Hollywood relax. You went Aaron Rodgers relax. Like, come on, go Frank. Do Frankie Goes to Hollywood. At least I can at least bop my head to it. I don't like to despise much. That sort of negative space kind of gets at me. But this Pro Bowl idea is such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea.
Have him play golf.
Honestly, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch him golf 18 holes.
Let me pitch this, right? So if you're afraid that playing an actual game of football, the game that is in your name, like it's what you do, you're afraid of losing talent in this game, or you have decreased value in playing for the game. One, you have enough money, go back to Hawaii and do it right. Like literally, worst case scenario, renovate the stadium in Hawaii and do it up, because that's the only reason anybody that I've ever talked to who played the Pro Bowl wanted to go. They want to take their family to Hawaii and they want to hang out with the Pro Bowl players playing football. And they actually want to see, because this used to be a time before crossover play. It was the only time the AFC got to play the NFC. The AFL and the NFL weren't the same league. So this is where they played and this is where they matched up. Even after they crossed over, it was still playing with people that you didn't normally get to play with. And you could do the whole LeBron AD draft thing, right? Which is you could have players and then if you let Mahomes choose receivers to throw to, oh my goodness, people would line up to see that. Like people would like, oh, we can do that. Here's another thing. Wrestling idea respun. For all the folks who are going to play in the XFL and the USFL and the American Coalition League and everything else, if you picked a game of players and talent and said this is going to be an opportunity for players to make a new path into the NFL. We're going to give you actual NFL film, play in the future Pro Bowl. Turn it into a futures game. Because once again, there was a time when that's what this was. It used to be the Super Bowl champion versus a team of college all-stars. Well, why not have that game? Because nobody's going to skip that, right? Because it's an opportunity to be seen and played. Once again, bad management is ruining sports, and it drives me crazy. It takes a little innovative thinking to get to this space. They failed, and so this Sunday, it's a sad Sunday. Put your football flags at half staff because the NFL screwed it up.
I'll also let you respond, and we got to get out of here.
Is Vince McMahon in charge of the NFL now too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, with that being said, this is the end of the Breeze, but not the end of Ticket Weekends. We still have Sunday Rewind. We're going to have Ricky C. Simmons, keep your happy on, and then we'll have some softball players as well later in the night, so be sure to stay tuned into 93.7 The Ticket. And you catch the podcast all from today at theticketfm.com. That's it for us. I'm Harrison Arns. We have host Haas and host DP. Appreciate you guys listening, and have a great rest of your Sunday.
Caruso, baby!